Who are you and what is your profession?
My name is Phil Keller, and I teach high school English.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Are you religious? What is your background? What is your sexual preference, sexual identity?
Oh, wow. Well, okay, I grew up as the eldest son of a very, very conservative Presbyterian minister. And I also had a grandfather who was another Presbyterian minister. So, yeah, I came from a pretty religious background, you might say. I'm now a member of the Episcopal Church, which is much more liberal about social issues, but still traditional. I'm gay, and I've been that way all my life. So what else do you want to know?
Okay. Growing up, did you experience oppression because you realized that you weren't the same as the rest of the peers?
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up in the 70s, so I mean, things were very different in the 70s. There's something that you kept quiet about very much. Not so much now. I mean, things have changed. Things have really changed.
When did or how did your parents find out that you didn't share the same values as heterosexually?
Well, I remember writing them a letter, but they told me afterwards that they kind of knew. So it wasn't a big surprise, but they didn't really want to talk about it. They still don't really want to talk about it very much. But things are a lot opener in general.
Okay. As a heterosexual, I do not experience the world in the same way as the LGBT community has, like people like you. Do you believe that persons who are not in the LGBT community can truly understand the issues that most LGBT members face nowadays?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think of the issues that they might face. Everybody's really concerned about the gay marriage issue, which is not really much of an issue for me at my age, and I don't really care that much anymore. But I guess it would be an issue for them. I mean, it's like, it becomes an issue when, there's an illness or something like that. And, I mean, you have to share resources or things like that. But, can they understand issues? Well, with enough alcohol, maybe, But,
what do you think the future for the LGBT community would look like, I don't know, let's say 50 years from now?
Oh, I think things will continue kind of on the road that they are right now. I think I would expect that maybe 50 years from now it'll just be nothing. It won't really be an issue. It'll just be like, do you like to have your hair frizzy or do you like to have it straight? It's like, I think it'll be kind of like along those lines. Just don't think it's going to matter that much. I really don't.
Okay. What advice can you give to the 18-year-olds who are barely emerging and are still confused about themselves?
Well, if they're 18 years old and they're still confused about themselves, they need some therapy, okay? But aside from that, one of the pieces of advice I might give, though, is that, some guys who are my age, they had a lot of trouble with relationships. And it was due to, the issues that they were experiencing and a lot of the attitudes that friends and families had. So they did everything on the sly, and they were secretive, and we always were that way. 70s, 80s, all of that, that's the way it was. But now it's not like that. And it's become less and less like that as time goes on. So I would advise them really, not to waste a lot of time messing around and sneaking around, and don't bother with that. Find somebody, Find somebody early on and, just develop a relationship, And you don't have to model your relationship like a heterosexual relationship. That's one mistake that they make. They think that everything that goes with a heterosexual male-female marriage has to apply to gay men or lesbian women. I don't think that's true. All right. I think they're kind of free to sort of explore they set their own parameters. The problem comes when they lie and when they sneak and when they cheat, okay, and they back off on agreements that they made. That's a problem, okay? But if they're open and they discuss it and they know what the parameters are, what their relationship should look like, and what they agree that it's going to look like, they can do what they want. I mean, I remember when I was, it was about 20 years ago or so. There was a gay couple that I knew, an older gay couple, and they had a very open relationship. In fact, one of these men would find other men for this particular guy, because he knew what he liked and all that sort of thing. So they had an open relationship, but they were still together. But that's what I mean. They set their own parameters. They made their own agreements, And they decided, okay, this is what our relationship's going to look like, and we're going to stick with it. All right? They were upfront and open and honest with each other. And I think that people in the gay community can be that way. They can create their own definitions.
Can heterosexuals serve as allies of the lesbian and gay and bisexual people?
Yeah, and they can make a lot of money too as strippers on the counter. No, I'm kidding, sort of. But sure, why not? I mean, it's just but like I said, I think it's going to be less and less of an issue. There's not so much of a war going on. There's not, in times past there was more of a war, especially in Southern California. There's not so much of a war going on anymore, really. So, unless they've got issues themselves that they're trying to deal with and they're hiding, that's often the case. The ones who are closeted, the ones who are anti, the ones who are, vicious about it, they've often got their own issues going on. So, yeah.